Alrighty, recording. So hi you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new video, a highly requested one. I'm finally checking out a longer video about Francis. This video is called The Violent Path of Francis Ngannou, UFC Fighter Documentary 2022. I remember some things about him because I watched a shorter video, but this is a longer one, so we'll go more in depth, hopefully, about his journey and all that good stuff. So I'm not gonna ramble. Let's get straight into this video. Alright, you guys, let's go.
Viewer discretion advised.
How does a 10-year-old sand miner from Africa become the scariest man on the planet?
Pendant la grossesse, il était toujours agité dans le ventre si bien que je ne parvenais même pas à dormir. Mais pour bagarrer, non. Il ne bagarrait jamais.
My dad didn't have a good reputation.
Was your dad a fighter?
Not like a professional
I
fighter.
went to Joe Rogan
fighting,
podcast.
beating my mom up, beating us up, and that's even how they get divorced. I was able to see the fear in the eye of my mom. One of my goals was to take that fear out of her.
Et il ne voulait jamais voir quelqu'un en train de taper sur l'eau.
Then we started to live in different family. I never feel as I belong to some family anymore. And from that moment, I knew something. I don't want to become like my dad.
Look at chills.
I always feel like I missed my childhood. Like I was subject of shame to other kids. I gonna go to school and didn't have a pen to take note or a notebook to write on it. Sometimes no shoes or clothes.
And you couldn't tell them, we can't afford it. You didn't want to say it?
They knew,
They
but what can they do?
Francis gets kicked out of school because he can't afford the supplies. From the age of only 10 years old, he starts working in a sand mine.
One of the things that I read about you was that you worked in a sand mine when you were young.
I was about 10 years old when I started that because
Quand Francis était à la carrière, c'est quand il revenait qu'on pouvait même payer quelque chose ici à la maison.
In this open cast mine, hundreds of artisanal miners are working in waters soiled by mercury without any protection. Among them, dozens of children, including girls, sometimes younger than 5.
even though that work was meant for adults, but we didn't have any option, so we take what we had.
Growing up doing something like that, first of all, it had to be very difficult. Like
Very
digging
difficult.
sand.
Heavy.
Yeah.
It's also, your body must develop very strong from doing something like that. At 10 years old, like as you're growing, as you're maturing, doing something that's that difficult, I mean, it must have made you really fucking strong.
À lui seul, il remplaçait 2 ou 3 personnes.
And although he does his best to support his mother, Francis is secretly hoping that a savior is going to come and rescue him.
I was always expecting somebody to come there and do something. I grew up with this expectation for many years, but it was clear that nobody is coming for me anymore.
But something else happened instead, when somebody showed him a YouTube clip of Mike Tyson.
That was like my motivation to watch Mike Tyson
Mike,
on
the greatest.
YouTube, because that's when I never watched your fight live, because I grew up in Africa and I didn't have it.
Why is Don King?
Nothing like that, you know. And I was watching it, I'm like, damn, I can do this.
No, you did what you don't know what you did. Know what you did? Your words were your destiny. You spoke out your reality. When you said, I'm gonna do that.
Yep.
That's what happened to me. I was locked up in a juvenile detention center, and I was like, what, 12 or 11, I was locked up in a juvenile detention. And we watched the movie The Greatest, and it was cool. And as soon as the lights came on, Muhammad Ali came in. And as soon as he came in, everybody lost. I mean, the staff, the guards, the police, everybody lost. And I said, I want to be like him. First thing I said, I want to be like him. I didn't know I was going to do it, but I said, I want to be like him.
The personality of a person, the ways of a person, the thoughts, the deeds, the actions, it's all based around his heart. For what is a man? A man is his heart.
I was a dreamer. I was very ambitious. People around thought I was going crazy. Like, what the hell? You are not for that class of life. you have to be like a farmer, like your dad,
Or
and
be
you
in
can't
your
do it.
lane.
I'm like, why? Why I can't do it? Who says it can change?
Regardless to man's title,
He showed.
regardless to man's wealth, rank, or position, if the heart is not great, then he cannot be great.
What the fuck is that? Who told you it's possible for you? Look at you. Look at where you came from.
But
Ooh,
if the
goosebumps.
heart is great, that man remains great under all circumstances, rich or poor, large or small. So does the heart that makes one large or small.
I just have to change the situation. I just have to be something else. I believe that I can make my own destiny.
I told you, I'm the real champion. I told you, I'm the champion of the world.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
All of you bow. All of my critics fall. All of you suckers bow.
Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their club. There's no one that can match me.
From this moment on, to recognize me as the scholar of boxing.
My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart.
All of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
So why don't I be the guy coming for myself? A miracle won't happen right now. You have to take action.
20 years ago today, my dad passed away after being sick for a very long time. He couldn't afford to go to the hospital. I was looking at my mom and asked myself, if she ever got sick, what would I do? At that point, I knew I had to do something to at least be able to provide her decent health care.
Before I left Cameroon, I went to see my mom. She didn't know why I was there for that long, but I was there because that was my last time before I leave. Then I'm like staring at my mom sometime, like maybe this might be the last time that I'm seeing her, but I have to do this. That's when I decided to leave.
But if you're in Cameroon, you just can't go to Europe by taking the front door.
You know,
So how'd
I
you
have
get there?
to use all the back doors.
And in the case of Francis, the first step is nothing less than crossing the biggest and most treacherous desert on earth.
Sahara is one of
Sahara Desert, yeah.
the Sahara Desert, and it's like one of the biggest over there. They just bring a small truck and put your baggage in it. You know, like Toyota Tacoma? Yes, it's gonna be like 25 of you guys in the back.
25 people in a Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah, plus your luggage. So
Wow.
you are not allowed for a lot of luggage. Even water, you don't allowed for certain quantity of water because it takes space. And you are going to the desert and you have to grab the truck so hard so you get cramped. And then, but when you get cramped, you can't let him go because if you let him go, you fall and that's it. They won't stop. Letting go is like letting your life go. It's over if I let him go. There is not second chance. I remember there was a girl with a baby. She couldn't do it anymore. She just wanted to throw a baby away.
Oh my
like
God.
this how hard it was. Like she couldn't do it and you can't blame her. The guy just kept holding the baby to take the baby from her. Like
We can hear the agonizing wails of another woman and go to speak to her.
I heard you crying. Want to see my baby.
Her name is Olabisi. 2 of her 4 children, it seems, were on another truck. They are the older ones, ages just 9 and 11.
That's my kid. I put her to death.
and they have to hide from like radars because sometimes they are like helicopter flying up there looking, checking if there's something going on because they know that there is a lot of traffic there. Not only immigrant, but only like guns and drugs and everything. So they're always flying there. You have to be lucky so the car don't break up in the middle of the trip because if the car break up in the middle of the trip, most of the time it's over.
What happens then?
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You guys might just die.
The migrants have been stranded here for 3 days after their truck broke down. There are about 30 in all, left to die.
At the daytime, it's like 150 degrees. Nighttime, he drops to like maybe 20 degrees. It's crazy. You're gonna cross a mafia
chills in my
and all
legs.
those people
I'm thinking about my dad because he's from Iran, and when he was 16 years old in the 80s, he too is small. He's a refugee kid. He said he only had a soap in his pocket, and he did like him. There's no flights. They escaped the same way, just through desert and everything, to come to Europe.
Cross the road, you're gonna get robbed, every kind of shit. So you better don't have all your money on you if you don't get killed. If you don't kill yourself by taking some risk.
One of the women starts praying under her breath. Jesus. A single sentence, over and over.
Even before the middle of the trip, the water is finished. Nobody has water anymore. And these people, they don't give a shit. They just want to drive from this point to this point. So you get dehydrated at the point that you're not sweating anymore. It's like oil on your face. At some point, we have like a dome of sand. So you have to rub your face and everything because the sun is just like, you go through all this stuff, and we found a water well, and it was so dirty with dead animal in it, bird, everything. If I don't drink this water, I'm not lasting long.
So you drank it.
So you drink it. You kind of like take the water, put it in the bottle, leave your shirt, and use your shirt as a filter. Drink the water. That's where you kind of like start to understand what you put yourself into. It's just the beginning.
So here's the good news. I didn't know that, but there's actually 2 Spanish territories in Morocco. That means you don't actually need to cross to Spain to get to Spain. You just need to get inside those cities. And to do so, you actually need to climb the fence that surrounds the cities or to swim from shore to shore. But that's easier said than done.
Sometimes we live in the forest, hiding for the cops, trying to cross the border to go to Spain.
Before and in between attempts to cross over, migrants were groups in the forest surrounding those cities, where they face an entirely different kind of reality.
Get cold all the time, no clothes, no food.
The cops raid the forest on a weekly basis. They steal your money, vandalize your stuff, and are physically abusive to men and women.
But when they take your money, they don't care about all those. They just want to take whatever they can take.
So you had to swallow your money?
Yeah, you swallow your money.
And then find it later.
Find it later. You had to.
Right, I get it.
Like at this point, it's a matter of surviving. And it was.
Did you have food?
No, sometimes we eat. Sometimes we have to go find food in the trash, sometimes arguing with rat in the trash, like, hey, get away of these tomatoes. It's mine.
Man.
This rotten tomatoes is mine, not yours, Go back in the forest, figure out how to cook that in the aluminum bucket or something.
The first way to get to the city is by climbing over the 11 miles fence that surrounds it. But calling it a fence is an oversimplification. It's a series of fences. The first one is 20 foot high. The second one has a flexible top, leading you straight into the barbed wire netting sitting at the bottom of it. The third fence is the highest yet, with more barbed wire waiting for you, along with the civil guard, standing before a 2x4 meters ditch, leading to a double fence topped with more barbed wires. So let me ask you, what would you go for? Fence or water? Francis chose the fence.
About 11 miles of fence will protect the island. It's small. I went to the fence, look at the fence like this. Man, the barbed wire was just on it like,
how? And not be
my
caught.
life behind them, my future.
Right.
Man, I'm taking my chance.
Oh wow. I got goosebumps. Sacrificing their life to get our passport. Ugh, I got chills in my head everywhere.
The first time I get caught, very caught, I was bleeding all over my hands, my feet, because I fell into it. I can't stay there. If those guys caught me there, they're probably gonna kill me.
Jeez, you guys. Tear gas. Oh Oh, wow.
How long were you in Morocco for?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because every time that you attend, if you fail, they're gonna bring you back in the south, in the desert, and throw you guys there.
Disorientated and dehydrated, these migrants have just been deported. The nearest village is a 15-kilometer walk in the Sahara Desert, and they have no food or water.
So when you fail, you got to go through the same cycle over and over again.
And sometimes, instead of like thinking of going back to the fence, you're like, okay, let me go try in the water.
This young man's dream of a better life in Europe ended before it began. His body washed up on the shores of Ceuta, a Spanish enclave on Morocco's Mediterranean coast.
You guys have to collect money to buy a boat to ram. Just a small one, the one that they use in the swimming pool. I count the wave like 1, 2, 3, because most of the time it's like 3 waves. And the third one would be the biggest one. The first one came, it was still okay. Second one, as much as we're going in the water, it gets deeper and deeper. Then the third wave came, that was like something that you see in the movie.
No. Waves are no joke.
Smashed you.
We fell in the water, no paddle. I hold my boat. I'm like, I trust myself. I trust my boat. This is my life. I'm not letting this go. I'm dying with it. I hold it like this. I saw this thing came. I'm like, put my head in the water, hold my boat like this, and it came, blew like boom on top of me, scream like, what the hell is this? When we get in the boat, we find out that there are 2 of us missing, basically those with the paddle. How do we gonna paddle without paddle?
Right.
The guy was like, listen, we're gonna paddle with our hands. I'm like, okay, this guy might be stupid or something. Like people die in the ocean paddling with the real paddle, and we are just gonna paddle with our hands.
Oh, wow.
How crazy is that? Man, for real? I'm gonna die just like this? My family don't even know. They won't even see my body, man.
Those waves are scary. Oh, wow. This baby. Oh. No, this is. If you're like born in Europe or like in America, like we're so lucky.
Demandé à papa que ouais maman il dit il sait pas.
Ma maman elle reste dans le.
Tu es dans la chambre, tu es chez toi ici.
When you got on that Red Cross boat and you knew,
I realized it was April 3rd, and I left Cameroon April 3rd, 1 year ago.
wow,
1 year anniversary.
one long journey.
She made it to Spain.
2013, 7 years ago, we were freed by the Spanish Homeland Security after spending 2 months in jail for illegally entering on European soil by sea. I had nothing by then but a dream and a faith of pursuing it. Okay, that was intense. Let's take a little breather here before we finally move to the fun stuff. If you like my documentaries, you can now support me through Patreon and get credited.
Yeah, shout out to him. I have the link in the description to the original video.
Considering going to England and Germany, Francis finally. After considering going to England and Germany,
I asked my dad, like, because he went through Turkey and it took him months to come to Sweden. But he said Germany, they looked at different countries where they should go to.
Francis finally settles on France.
I just wanted
Sweden.
a place with opportunity. France seems to have that opportunity.
The very next day he
language.
arrives, Francis steps into a boxing gym.
I told him, like, listen, man, I just came here. I don't have money. I don't have nothing. But the only thing that I want is some place to keep training because I'm going to become a world champion.
Rapidement, j'ai compris qu'il y avait une précarité dans sa vie.
He finds a parking lot to sleep in and fully commits to training.
I was very happy at that time because even though I was sleeping in the parking lot, I was somewhere that I will have my fair share if I work hard.
And it doesn't take long before he's pushed into MMA instead of boxing.
So if you need the faster income to help you get out in your situation, you have to do MMA. Then I'm like, what's MMA? Like, what is Jiu-Jitsu? Started explaining me everything. I'm like, hey man, please, leave me alone with your MMA.
Je ne me souviens pas d'avoir rencontré un mec aussi fort de manière bruit. Ah oui, oh, oh, God damn it.
Allez, allez. Très bien, très bien. I'm so scared we're gonna flag the video with these music. That's why I'm muting it here and there. I'm going crazy. Aww. What a journey. It's like unimaginable.
When was your first pro fight?
It was 4 months after
You started?
I started.
Wow. Wow. There he is. Imagine the hunger, the fighting for survival.
So I won my first fight. Submission.
You won by submission?
Yeah. It
What
was
did you
like,
use?
I don't know. There is not a name for that. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, what do they mean? Winning by submission? Tapping out. Oh, that's what it means? Tapping out? He said, I don't know. Wow, see? Allez. Écoutez. Hey. Now they're really trying me with his music. Jeez. Ooh. Ooh. Can't even recognize that face. So swollen. Hey, TKO. Okay. Technical knockout. I know. Like, oh. Okay. D'accord. Oh. Ooh. Knockout. The rest is history. He just kept going.
Only one man remains and stands between Francis and his dream.
Who?
Greatest heavyweight of all time.
Miocic.
When you went into the Stipe fight, the first Stipe fight,
Croatian.
how did you expect the fight to end? What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know.
You didn't know?
Yeah. All the way through that fight, nothing was right.
All the way in training?
Yeah. Even how I approached the fight.
Undisputed UFC heavyweight champion of the world,
In 2018, after I lost against Stipe, man, I went back. I felt like shit. Couldn't sleep. Even when I went to sleep, I didn't want sun to rise the next day. I felt like I want the night just last forever. You know, I couldn't look at myself. Feel very bad at that moment. I just took my phone and then went online, booked a first plane for Cameroon. And guess what? When I went in Cameroon, the welcome that I had there, man, like, it was crazy. They were so excited, so happy, so proud.
I love that.
And at some point, I was still like feeling bad about myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, there was just like, hey champ, welcome, and everybody was going crazy. Even grandmas who doesn't know anything about fighting. And I'm like, listen, guy, I think you might get something wrong here. I lost. I didn't win that fight. I'm like, we don't care. You won everything. Like,
Francis, pour nous, c'est une légende, c'est un monument. Donc, tout ce qu'il fait en Europe, aux États-Unis, c'est gravé dans notre mémoire.
we never had somebody there. We never even expect somebody from us. We get there and we make it there. You present us. We make our surprise. Obviously, it didn't go your way, but you're still young and this.
Il a grandi ici et je suis là présentement. Je vais toujours l'accueillir ici, à la maison.
When I go back
À la
home,
maison.
that's the place that allowed me to understand like how far I came, you know.
Do you think it's your destiny? Do you think it's your birthright, your destiny to
My
be?
friend, you have to make your destiny.
Exactly. Good words. He did that. He took the risk. He created his path. Don't take no credit away. He did that. You're gonna flag me for this one? Wow. You guys. Sheesh.
What memories stand out of your childhood in West Africa?
The memory from my child in Africa, it wasn't.
Stand out of your childhood in West Africa?
The memory from my child in Africa, it wasn't the best, but I couldn't make it here today if it wasn't like that. The future doesn't make sense without
Good
the
and
past.
the bad.
For what is a man? A man is his heart.
Crazy. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow. That's all I have to say, you guys. I'm speechless. What a journey. Just they went into so much details that we didn't get to know in the past video. Wow. I'm a fan. Great role model, work ethic, just good attitude. Wow. Wish him all the best. I mean, he don't need it. He doing his thing. Francis, Ngannou. Hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.